Deputy Justice Minister Patekile Holomisa says he's shocked by the killing of Boksburg Community Correctional officials, the incident happening in Duduza last week. He joins us now tonight. Nkosi Holomisa, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. What does the department understand to have happened here? Why were these officials targeted?
Well, good evening to you, Kathy, and to your listeners and viewers. Well, the officials were on duty as the community corrections officials responsible for the monitoring of the conduct of parolees. This particular parolee by the name of Goodwill Masimola had absconded by way of failing to comply with the conditions that were laid down for his release on probation, rather on parole, in that he had not reported as he was required to report at the correctional offices. Now they went to his place of residence looking for him, and in the course of them looking around in the township, they were ambushed and attacked by unknown assailants, and they were shot at and killed, and one of them had his firearm taken by the murderers. Unfortunately, while the police are looking for the murderers, they have not arrested anyone. We are not sure as to what extent the killing or the murder had to do with the fact that these people were looking for this particular parolee who continues to be on the run, as I understand.
Have you been able to locate him at all?
Not as yet, as far as I'm aware, not as yet.
Of course, it raises big questions about the security of your officials who have to do this kind of work on a day-to-day basis and make sure that parolees are actually adhering with the conditions of their release.
Yes, it's unfortunate because he is one of the 1% of parolees who decide to abscond, as I said, by violating their conditions of parole. Now, of course, it is uncommon for our officials, while performing this type of duty, that they will be attacked and killed by members of the community or by the parolee himself. We are not even sure as to who exactly committed this crime, because, as I say, the gentlemen were ambushed by the thug that killed them.
How are you responding to it?
Well, the police are on the lookout. They are busy searching for the killer with the assistance of our own officials to make sure that we eventually find and arrest the culprit and bring him to book. But besides that, we have embarked now on a program of training our officials on a regular basis. You see, at some stage after democracy, we decided to demilitarize our prison system so that officials are not considered to be in the same way as the police and the military. But now we've discovered that turning the institution into a civilian one is not quite the way to go. Well, of course, we have to make sure that we comply with dictates of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, which also apply to the prisoners or inmates and offenders themselves. But at the same time, it's necessary because they continue to arm themselves while we have not been doing the same thing. So you find that they tend to have the upper hand when they are confronted by criminals, even in some instances by the offenders themselves.
So when you talk about militarizing your officials, what exactly does that mean?
No, I'm not saying we are militarizing them, but we're saying previously we demilitarized the system. Now we're saying we are going to make sure, we are making sure that they are trained properly to deal with criminals, those inside our centers and those outside of our centers, by giving them the training in the use of firearms, for instance, that is necessary to defend themselves when they are confronted by criminals when in the course of their duty.
Are you finding that more and more of your officials are coming under threat while performing their duties?
Well, I can't say the levels of that are very high, unusually high, but here now and then, for instance, you'd find an official, even within our correctional centers, being attacked by some of these offenders. You see, there's a gang system that operates within our correctional centers, and apparently, according to their customs, one of them, in order to graduate to a senior level, must kill an official, especially a senior official. But it's something that doesn't occur quite often, but it's something that does occur, and it worries us as a department, and that's why we have measures in place to ensure that we deal with the system of gangsterism in our centers. And then again, you know that there's a link between the gangsters that are in our centers and those that are outside. You're finding that then sometimes our officials might be targeted by gangsters outside of the centers. So, yeah, it's a worrying occurrence that we are busy dealing with.
Nkosi Patekile Holomisa will leave it there for tonight, and of course he is the Deputy Minister of Correctional Services.